It is Pro Bowl week. So, the NFL is doing Pro Bowl a little bit different. They're playing video games, having social media contests. So, we're going to do something fun for the Pro Bowl. We're going to come together. We're going to draft our best 7-on-7 roster. So, think of it as each team would play each other with these 7 players. Now, we're going to stick to mainly offensive skill players. So, we're going to have 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, a wide receiver, or 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. It'll be 7
You
rounds.
said 2 quarterbacks,
Obviously,
by the way.
It's one
okay, well, I
quarterback,
said
but
2 quarterbacks. I lied. It is 1 quarterback. Thank you, George, for catching that. But Tyler, you won our picks, so you get the first pick. You can talk about your pick, but you're on the clock.
all right, guys. Well, having the first pick is tough because there are so many good, talented guys in this Pro Bowl that you could choose from, and the homer in me definitely wants to pick a guy like Derrick Henry. But I think the most important position, no matter what, uh, doesn't even need to be debated, is always quarterback. And as much as I would love, especially in a 7-on-7 street football type of game, would love to have a guy like Josh Allen who can scramble out of the pocket. I think it's hard to pass up from the best quarterback in the NFL this season, and that guy is Aaron Rodgers. So my first pick, I'd have to steal Aaron Rodgers.
Interesting. I was not expecting you to take him at all. I wasn't.
Got to change it
So,
up.
thank yeah, you gotta change it up. So, I'm on the clock now, and I'm torn, because you took Aaron Rodgers, who I didn't expect you to take. I thought you would take one of the 2 guys I wanted. So now I gotta see if I can play the game on who will come back. But, we just talked about, he's like a freaking human Madden game. So I'm gonna take Tyreek Hill with my first pick
Smart.
at wide receiver. The speed on 7-on-7, is this flag football? Because if it's flags, you ain't catching his flags. I'm just saying.
Actually, can
Seven
we,
on
like,
seven
establish if
street
this is flag
football.
or not here first? Because if it's street football, okay, got you.
Street tackle
All
football.
right,
Like we're
George.
playing NFL Street of old.
Okay, well, Cody did take my pick. I was going to go Tyreek Hill right there, but if we're going street tackle football, it's got to be Derrick Henry right here at number 3. I don't see anybody being able to tackle Derrick Henry one-on-one when you have extra open field. He's still fast. I think that's a steal right there, but I do get your arguments for the other 2. I think Tyreek Hill would have been my next guy.
All righty. So the first round went Rodgers, Tyreek Hill, Derrick Henry. And surprisingly, Derrick Henry or Aaron Rodgers didn't go to their fan favorite team. Pretty interesting. All right, George, kick us off for the second round.
This one is tough, but I really liked the quarterback argument, so I'm going to go with who I think is the second best quarterback in the league right now, or at least this year, and that would be Patrick Mahomes. He was the other guy up for MVP. Going to have somebody solid to lead my team, and then I'll worry about my pass catchers later.
I like it. I like it. Well, since you guys have both taken a quarterback, just out of the nature of this draft, theoretically you could take a quarterback in your flex, but I will pass on a quarterback to my last pick. And I'm going to stay with that explosive offense, and I'm going to get the best tight end in the league, and I'm going to take Travis Kelce.
That's my pick. That was my pick.
I was debating between him and Tyreek Hill with the second overall pick, so to be able to get him here in the second round. I don't have a quarterback yet, but I have a pretty dominant 1-2 punch pass catching.
Yeah, Cody. I mean, you can make an argument for just about any running back or just about any receiver at any point in this draft because all of these guys are amazing, but you cannot make an argument for any tight end over Travis Kelce. I don't care. It's not possible. Kelce is so far and above all the other tight ends in this Pro Bowl. He is on a level of his own, so that is a great pick right there. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a pass catcher because Aaron Rodgers has to throw to somebody, right? And I'm going to go with Davante Adams. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, Aaron Rodgers to the Davante Adams connection has been absolutely electric this year. It has been unstoppable. So I just have to keep that connection together. I'm going Davante Adams.
I love it. I'd probably vote for your team at least. So that's one vote for you because you got 2 of my favorite players. But hey, we're off to a great start. So why don't you kick off round 3, Snyder?
Sure thing, sure thing. And you know what? I'm going to go with a running back here. Now, it would make a lot of sense to go with a guy like Dalvin Cook because he is a great running back. He was one of the only guys who competed with Henry in the yards this year. It would make a lot of sense to go with a guy like Alvin Kamara because he can catch all the passes out of the backfield, but I am not going to go with that. I'm going to go with one of the best average running backs. Best yards per carry, and he did the best while he was on the field, although injuries did limit him. And I'm going to go with Nick Chubb. I think that he is such a dynamic running back. He is an 80-yard touchdown waiting to happen every time he grabs that ball, and I really do think that he would be competing with all of these guys for the top spot if he was able to stay healthy all year long.
Well, I took your pick, and now you took my pick. So fantastic work there. I was leaning Nick Chubb, but I too will go running back and take the other option. And I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara. I think his pass catching is a little bit better than Dalvin Cook. I think he's a little bit thicker, a little bit less injury, and you got to play defense on our 7-on-7. So I like him as a little strong safety. So I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara.
And you took my pick again. He was going to be one of my guys in this this turn here, even though it would have been my second running back because I would have had my pure runner already. He would have been my pass catching guy. So I'm going to go ahead and get my receiver, and that's going to be DeAndre Hopkins. I kind of wish I could see this in real life. Patrick Mahomes throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. He's got crazy skill around him already, but he doesn't have a possession threat quite like DeAndre Hopkins. The only thing he's missing is the speed of Tyreek Hill, but I like him there as well.
Alrighty. And you got a second pick to kick off the 4th round.
Since you took my second running back, I might go back to back on receiver here. And I think I'm going to go with, there's a lot of good options in the AFC. I'm looking at a couple. There's A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, but I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs completely changed Josh Allen's career. He showed how much of an asset he is at the receiver position. So put him with Patrick Mahomes as well. And I think I got a good mix of some great receivers for Mahomes to throw to and that power running game right now.
Diggs was a great pick. I thought about taking him, and since I don't have a quarterback, pairing him with Josh Allen. My next pick, I'm going to stay with receiver, and it's kind of just also stealing him from Snyder, but my next pick will be A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans.
Man, stole my pick again.
The dude is a monster, physical and fast. The guy can make unbelievable jump ball catches and also can take a slant 70 yards. Very underrated still in the NFL despite playing with bad ankles and knees, I feel like all season and putting up huge numbers. A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Alvin Kamara. My offense is scoring 100 points like that. That was a pretty bad snap. You couldn't hear the snap on the mic, but pretend I all snapped. Editor, add a fake snap in.
All right, Cody. Well, you know what? If you're going to steal A.J. Brown from me, I understand that I'm the only one who has an open receiver spot, but the flex is still open, and I want to make sure that you guys don't steal him from me. I'm going to go with a guy who is just as much of a freak and honestly gets a lot more recognition than A.J. Brown, deservedly or not. I'm not sure. That's a debate for another day, but I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. He is another guy who has freakish size and speed. He can go up and make the play, and he's the kind of guy that you just, DK's down there somewhere, throw it up, and the odds are he's going to go up and get it. He can outmuscle pretty much any corner or safety that goes up against him. And again, if we're playing street football, these guys are going to have to play defense too. DK is going to be taking some heads off on defense. We saw what he did to Budda Baker, chasing him down, making that tackle. Give me DK.
I like it. So, quick recap. After 4 rounds, Snyder's team is Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, Devontae Adams, and DK Metcalf. With 3 spots left, I have Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, and Travis Kelce. And George has Mahomes, Derrick Henry, D-Hop, and Stephon Diggs. Tyler, you're back on the clock, top of the 5th round.
All right, guys. Well, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. The obvious picks are off the board, but I get a second running back, and I am surprised that he is still there because he was the second best running back in football this year, and I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook. I I can't believe he fell this far, but I got to make sure to lock him up. I mean, we saw what Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb can do side by side. Imagine what Nick Chubb and Dalvin Cook could do side by side. That's just dangerous.
Absolutely. I was hoping he would get back to me, but he didn't. So surprise, surprise. I'm with you. I thought he would be, top 2 rounds essentially because how well he played, especially this season. So I too need a running back. There's not too many left. So I'm just going to go with the home favorite. I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. He's very elusive. He has good hands out of the backfield. He's very similar to Alvin Kamara, a little bit of speed, and I like him over Josh Jacobs, which is the remaining running back on the board. So I'm going to go with Aaron Jones.
All right. So, me having 3 spots left, I'm going to go ahead and take my tight end here. And obviously, the obvious tight end choice is off the board with Travis Kelce. So I'm going to go with the second favorite and the guy who I think still doesn't quite get enough talk, and that would be Darren Waller. Darren Waller has completely emerged as, besides George Kittle and Travis Kelce, being the third best tight end in the league. He can take over a game if you allow him. He just doesn't have a lot of weapons around him on that offense, and I think that's why he doesn't shine as much as he should. And I think with a team around him like Henry, D Hop, and Diggs, he can really make some moves, do some damage.
I don't blame you for taking Waller there. That's a good pick.
That's going to be my pick if he fell. But, George, you are still on the clock, so who do you take with your next pick?
Well, I have one more running back spot open, but there is only one other running back left. So do you guys have to save that for me? Is that how that works?
We don't have to save anything.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no gimmies in this draft, George.
Well, I'm going to go bold here anyway. I'm going to add a little size and toughness to my team, and I'm going to go with Kyle Juszczyk. He's going to be better for me here playing some defense. He still can be a solid running back, and he catches some passes out of the backfield, lead blocker. Derrick Henry has a great lead blocker already with Corey Blasingame. So give him Kyle Juszczyk as well. Good dynamic guy who could also play some defense for me. I'm going to take the risk on that one right there.
I like it. Fun, exciting, a little bit different. Not what people expected. But that brings me back to the clock here. And I'm looking at my flex position. I said I was going to wait till the end for my quarterback, which I am going to do. And I'm going to have to go with my draft favorite, who's on one of my least favorite teams. But I love the player still. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Vikings. Had a fantastic rookie year. Another, guy that's very quick, has good speed. I think any of these guys are gonna have a hard time defending my trio of Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, and Justin Jefferson, which I'm pretty sure Tyler was on one of your fantasy teams in the league we were in. You had all 3 of these, so
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
yeah, I did.
It was a good
Yeah.
fantasy year for me. What can I say?
It was. That was a pretty good team. So maybe my have the best team on this. You never know. But speaking of your fantasy team, you are back on the clock. You got a tight end and a flex left. Round out your team here, buddy.
All right, guys, I am on the clock. I have my last 2 picks here. I have a flex spot open and a tight end spot open. Flex, I'm still debating between a couple people, so I'm going to go ahead and take my tight end and just get that out of the way first. I have either TJ Hawkinson or Evan Engram to choose between, and I'm a huge fan of Evan Engram. I really am. I think he is definitely athletically gifted, but I'm actually going to go with TJ Hawkinson. I think that he is a sure-handed threat in the red zone. I think if you get down to the red zone, throw it up to TJ, he's going to get it. And I believe that he would be a lot better in the NFL if he had someone better than Matt Stafford throwing to him. Hot take, not a big Stafford fan. So I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson to fill in my tight end spot. And then, guys, we're going to the wide receiver or running back slot. I have either Josh Jacobs or Keenan Allen to choose from, unless I want to go with someone interesting like a fullback or a special teamer. And, I was planning on taking Kyle Juszczyk in my flex here. That was going to be my surprise pick. But since George took him, I'm going to go ahead and take Keenan Allen. And Keenan Allen has been so good this year. And he's doing it with a rookie quarterback that he doesn't have that good of a rapport with. So you give him. I mean, honestly, think about it. Keenan Allen has been one of the best receivers in the league for years now, and he's had Philip Rivers, who can't throw, throwing to him, and Justin Herbert, who is a rookie, again, doesn't have a rapport with. So you match him up with Aaron Rodgers, just imagine how good he could be. I think he would be absolutely dominant. I'm going to go with Keenan Allen here, and, good luck stopping my team.
Hey, I will give you Keenan Allen and Devontae Adams probably 1-2 in route running. So, especially when we have, receivers playing corners in our imaginary 7-on-7 game, that's some deadly combos with as accurate as Aaron Rodgers in. So I do like your flex pick there. I get to wrap up my team now, and I'm the only one that doesn't have a quarterback, and I don't know which way to go. I know Josh Allen had a great season. Russell Wilson had a very strong start to the season and died down. And then there's the X factor in Kyler Murray. My team is pretty much all speed. It'd be fun to have Kyler Murray out there. I'm it's a tough one.
I mean,
I think
don't
I'm gonna
undersell
go
Deshaun Watson though either. I mean, he also might not have had the best season, but he is very mobile, and he performed well without really having a team around him. So you can't really undersell him either. You got four good choices here, man.
I know it's so tough. I think, I'm gonna stay safe. It was between Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson. I'm gonna go with Josh Allen strictly based on size. And again, we do have to play defense on 7-on-7. It won't be very tough defense, but I'll take a guy that's a little bit bigger, that still has some decent wheels. I'll take Josh Allen to round out my team.
Well, there's a couple of debates here. I can either just go with Josh Jacobs for my running back spot and be over with, or I can think about the fact that my team's a little bit bigger and I might need a little bit more speed to play secondary there on the defense, and I can get a little bit more dynamic. So I'm just going to go ahead and make things interesting, and I'm going to throw Kyle Juszczyk instead of my flex into my second running back spot because he does play in the backfield. And I'm going to go bold, and I'm going to pick a second quarterback. And that second quarterback is going to be the most dynamic quarterback with his legs I think there is in the league, and that's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray can throw some passes from some backward passes from Patrick Mahomes. He can go out there and play in the secondary against some of your fast guys out there like Tyreek Hill and still probably keep up fairly well. So we're going to see how that works for me, but I think I just need a little bit more speed. So that's why I'm staying away from Jacobs, and I'm going to go with Kyler Murray.
Very interesting. You're definitely playing to like the NFL street strengths of like throw it to a guy, the guy jumps off the wall and throws like a 50-yard bomb with your two quarterbacks there with their mobility. If it was, we said it was NFL street rules, so if we were playing in a stadium, I don't know about that, but if you're playing in an alleyway somewhere in Detroit, wherever the game was modeled after, hey, Kyler, that's just a fun team. You have like the biggest man ever. Your team's going to walk out with Derrick Henry, and he's going to be like flexing, and then Kyler Murray's just going to step out beside him like this small guy. Maybe Derrick Henry just runs and Kyler Murray stays behind him, and no one will ever see him. You definitely have a lot of character on your team. So I like the pick. I do, and you got the D Hop connection. So fun
Yeah.
team there, George. Way to shake it up here at the end.
Yeah, I mean, got to make this interesting. I mean, the boring pick I think would have been Josh Jacobs, and no one wants to see a boring pick.
Absolutely. So just a quick recap. Tyler's team is Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, TJ Hawkinson, and Keenan Allen. My team is Josh Allen, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Travis Kelsey, and Justin Jefferson. And George's team, Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Kyle Juszczyk, D Hop, Stephon Diggs, Darren Waller, and the surprise flex of Kyler Murray.